representing actual enemy assets which would be well dispersed in the battlefield. However, for ease of viewing and demonstration purposes, we have grouped them and placed them close to each other. I shall now be describing all the targets from our left to right. At the extreme left is target number 3, which depicts a runway at the enemy's airfield. Further, we have target number 14, which depicts a tank convoy. In the same line, further in the distance, is target number 7, which represents an enemy command and control center. Moving right, we have target number 11, which represents a POL dump. Further right, and in the distance, is target number 15, which represents an enemy troop concentration. Moving further right and closer to us is target number 2, which depicts an enemy radar. In the same line, further up in the distance is target number 10, which depicts a logistics node. Moving further in the center, we have target number 16, which represents an enemy camp. In the same line, further up is target number 13, which depicts an operations room. Further right and closer to us is target number 1, which depicts a radar site. Further right and in the distance is target number 6, which represents a weapons storage area. Further right and closer to us is target number 9, which represents an advanced mounting area of the enemy's army. Moving right and closer to us is target 12, which represents a vehicle convoy. Further right and in the distance is target number 5, which represents the launch site of the enemy's tactical surface-to-surface missile. Moving right and closer to us is target number 4, which represents a bulk petroleum installation. And at the extreme right is target number 8, which represents an enemy bunker. All the targets today would be hit by iron bombs, which fall freely under the effect of gravity, or precision-guided bombs, or air-to-ground rockets of various caliber, or gun ammunition. Simulated aerial targets would be engaged with air-to-air missiles. Our pilots would be delivering their weapons in 3 modes of attack, which are the dive attack, the lay-down attack, and the medium altitude level release. A dive attack would be performed by the pilot by placing the aircraft into a sharp descent towards the target so as to aim the weapons accurately. Such an attack is preferred against targets which have hardened structure and reinforced surfaces. A lay-down attack is performed by flying the aircraft at ultra-low levels at high speeds so as to delay or deny visual as well as radar pickup by the enemy. Such an attack is preferred against targets which have linear extent, such as runways and bridges. A medium or a high-altitude level release is performed by flying the aircraft high away from the ground so as to remain clear of the enemy's
of enemy air defense, or SEAD. SEAD is a military action taken to suppress enemy surface-based air defenses, including not only surface-to-air missiles and artillery, but also interrelated systems such as early warning radars and command, control, and communication functions.
Please look straight in front and slightly to the left for target number 2, which depicts another radar site. As we speak, 2 Mirage 2000 aircraft are fast approaching the target. Each aircraft is armed with 5 250 kg fragmentation bombs. The aircraft shall release the bombs in a dive attack and then pull up right in front of us. Entering the dive, they shall release flares, the bright fireballs in the sky, to fool any enemy heat-seeking surface-to-air missile or SAM that could be fired at them. The massive ordnance planned for drop shall not only put the radar vehicle out of action, but also significantly damage the adversary's other vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, look to your right. High above your shoulder, watch as the aircraft enters into the dive. Flare dispensed. In a steady dive. Bombs away. Shift your eyes onto the target. Once again. Please look right. See the wingman following his leader towards the target. demolition bombs have shredded the target to bits.
Runways at air bases are crucial for operation by the enemy's air force. With its radar coverage degraded, our strikes can now push deeper, undetected, to target the enemy's forward air bases. Look half left, ladies and gentlemen. Target number 3 depicts one such forward enemy air base. It takes massive bombs to break concrete runways. Coming up next are 4 Su-30 MKIs, which will drop 4 450 kg high-speed, low-drag or HSLD bombs, each on the runway of the target airfield. As the enemy's short-range self-defense weapons deployed at the airbase are still active, our aircraft will release these bombs from medium altitude in level flight. The Su-30 pilot, with the help of the onboard, highly accurate mission computer, shall deliver these bombs. Ladies and gentlemen, look left, high above your shoulder. The first 2 Su-30s are fast approaching the target. Weapons released. Watch how the bombs glide towards the target. What an impact! The enemy's runway has been severely damaged. Till such time it is repaired, the enemy cannot launch his aircraft from this base to counter our strikes in this sector.
Fuel is vital for operation from any airbase. As the Sukhoi 30s damage the runway, our commander plans to use MiG-27 aircraft to target enemy fuel storages next to the target airbase. Please look half right. Target number 4 depicts this installation. The MiG-27 aircraft carries various types of armament loads. One of them is the 80mm heavy caliber rocket. The aircraft is armed with 2 rocket pods, with each pod carrying 20 rockets. We shall shortly see the devastating effect of these rockets as the 2 MiG-27 fire a barrage of 40 rockets each on target number 4. Please look to your right above the shoulder. You can now see the first aircraft swoop down in a 20-degree dive. Steady in a dive. It fires a salvo of 80mm rockets. Eyes again to the right, the wingman follows his leader's attack to take on the remaining fuel storage. A barrage of rockets like these penetrates and ignites fuel storage tanks, leaving an actual fuel storage engulfed in an uncontrolled fire.
Meanwhile, a Su-30 in the area has spotted an enemy surface-to-surface missile or SSM mobile launcher vehicle on its synthetic aperture radar or SAR. This launcher is likely to target our land formations. This is depicted by target number 5, located in front of us, slightly to the right. The target is simulating the transporter erector launcher or TEL of this SSM. To execute this mission, a Su-30 MKI is planned to drop a laser-guided bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, look left, high above your shoulder. You can see the Su-30. Even as we speak, the bomb has already been dropped. Eyes now on the target. A direct hit! We have just demonstrated our ability to detect and destroy such mobile launchers with our precision target capability.
During a war, a bulk of the Indian Air Force's missions is aimed at destroying the war-waging potential of the enemy surface forces or army elements. These are called counter-surface force operations. Up next is target number 6, depicting an ammunition dump. This target is located straight ahead, slightly to your right. Typically, such ammunition dumps are spread over a large area where the ammunition is stored under different types of shelters. Therefore, a number of heavy bombs shall be dropped to cover the area. 2 deep strike Jaguar aircraft, each carrying 3,000-pound RTU bombs, shall address this target. RTU stands for Retarder Tail Unit. It is a parachute-like structure fitted at the rear of the bomb, which delays the weapon's fall. Look out for the Jaguars approaching from your right, flying low to avoid enemy's radar. Bombs gone. RTU's in play. And the enemy just lost critical weapon stores for his frontline troops.
With enemy airfields down, our Air Force has already achieved a favorable air situation over the battlefield, where our army elements are engaged. The panic caused by targeting of enemy ammunition dumps, petroleum storage areas and radars has left the enemy floundering. A decision has now been taken to target the enemy's leadership in the sector. Target number 7 in front of us on the left depicts an enemy command and control center. Made in India, light combat aircraft, the Tejas, a lightweight multi-role fighter developed indigenously by the Aeronautical Development Agency, is planned to take on the target. Ladies and gentlemen, look high above your left shoulder. You can see the aircraft. A laser-guided bomb has already been dropped from the target. Eyes on the target now. The bomb explodes. The enemy leadership in the sector is in disarray.
Information from army elements has indicated that an enemy bunker complex is putting up heavy resistance to our army's advance. This is simulated by target number 8, which is sighted in front of us.
वायु शक्ति चल रही है। सीधे तौर पर आपको ये दृश्य दिखा रहे हैं एक तरह से कि इंडियन एयर फोर्स का एक ये जो डिस्प्ले है वो अपने आप में काफ़ी कुछ बयां करता है अगर इन वायु शक्ति को देखा जाए तो।
And that's a direct hit. The bunkers are racked by the massive blast waves.
Ladies and gentlemen, our airborne warning and control system, or AWACS, has detected an enemy aircraft which is being simulated by a maneuverable, expendable aerial target, which we refer to as MEAT. Our Tejas, armed with air-to-air missiles and bombs in a swing role, is en route. Watch how the Tejas performs the interceptor role and maneuvers to fire an air-to-air missile. The infrared seeker head of the R-73 missile shall lock onto the heat emitted from the MEAT. The Tejas has swing roll capability. Having fired the missile, this Tejas shall in the same sortie turn around and come back soon to drop bombs on a ground target, thus destroying targets both in air and on ground. The R-73 missile has a proximity fuse. This ensures that even if the missile does not strike the target but passes close to it, the warhead will detonate. The resultant shrapnel sliced through vital components, bringing the enemy aircraft down. Ladies and gentlemen, look left. You can see the aircraft. The aircraft has already locked onto the target and prepares to fire. You can now see the MEAT simulating the enemy aircraft overhead in front of us. The missile darts towards the target. The missile passed very close to the target. Unlike an actual aircraft, the target size here was only a few feet, not large enough to trigger the proximity fuse, which would have been the case if it was an actual aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next mission presents the MiG-29 in a new role. This air superiority fighter aircraft is capable of attaining a max airspeed of 2,445 kilometers per hour, which translates into 2.3 Mach. So far, the aircraft has been exclusively used by the Indian Air Force in the air defense role. The MiG-29 has gained in strength and ferocity after an upgrade, giving the Indian Air Force a much-needed boost. Equipped with the latest avionics and enormously powerful engines, this platform is now a potential game-changer in an air-land battle at high altitudes. Today, 2 aircraft shall each launch 2 500 kg bombs to destroy an enemy advanced mounting area simulated by target number 9 in front of us, slightly to the right. Ladies and gentlemen, please look high towards your right, the first aircraft rolling into the dive. There he comes into the steady dive. Bombs away, look in front on your screens. Eyes now to the target. Number 2 following his leader into the attack. He comes from the right. On your screens, the bombs have been released. Eyes towards the target, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for the impact and explosion. There, the enemy is shaken by the tremendous blast.
Ladies and gentlemen, our AWACS has now conveyed ground coordinates of a large enemy logistic node to the Tejas, which had just fired the missile. The aircraft shall now demonstrate its swing roll capability by proceeding to engage ground targets in the same mission. The aircraft will now engage large enemy targets on the ground by employing conventional bombs. Ladies and gentlemen, look high, right above your shoulder, as the aircraft dives to engage the enemy logistic area. Each aircraft is armed with 2,000-pound bombs. Bombs gone. You can now visually see the bombs making their way to the target. There, the bombs impact. Look right again as number 2 and 3 follow their leader into the dive. Bombs gone. Number 3 aircraft is the same Tejas which carried out air-to-air interception.